Hey everyone, Jackie Hay here of Hey Hey Creations. I am here in Binghamton, New York for the TBAI Doll and Teddy Bear Show. We are at the Hilton Doubletree, so I just wanted to show you my accommodations. It is Saturday morning. The show starts in just a little bit, but I thought I'd give you a little tour of the room. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the view. I have a really nice view. There is the river. Down there is the pool, which I plan to check out a little bit later. But we are up here, you can see the mountains. And it really is a cute little town. A little cloudy today, but over there you can see some mountains and the clouds. I don't know if it's clouds or fog. I think we're high up, so I think that over there's some clouds. But here's the room. I have a little desk. I was in here last night, so it's a little messy, but when I came in, it was very clean. I have 2 beds. And yeah, it's just a really nice hotel, nice room. They have had this show since the early 2000s, and I think they've been coming here for a long time. But you have a nice shower with a tub. And a nice vanity as well. So far really happy with this hotel. But yeah, stay tuned. I will show you the showroom and all the artists' work. And if you have never been to this show, I would highly recommend it. But yeah, let's check out downstairs. Okay, so here we are in the showroom, and as you walk in, we are at Cindy's table. Cindy is the person who runs this show. She is super nice. But here is her table of bears, and I just love the variety of colors and textures, all the different animals. She doesn't do just bears, but there's just such a nice variety on her table. Some have clothes, some have accessories. I loved these 2 little, the pink and green bear with the vests, and then there's one more coming up. This little red bear I just fell in love with. I am such a sucker for small bears, but they are all just so gorgeous. She really does a nice job with her table. I mean, look at all that. It's just like a whole rainbow of stuff. Okay, so here's my table. There's Cosmos, the gypsy cat, and I have a selection of candy corns. I did some moons this year. These are new. And I just love all their droopy, weird faces. There's some of my witches, and I have a couple vampires and a bunch of zombie heads. Here are some of my goblins. That little green guy did sell. I have mushrooms, and of course I have lots and lots of pumpkins. This year I'm just loving the pumpkins with the hats. And of course here's my 5 little pumpkins display in the shadow box. And then there is one of my ball jointed dolls, and then I have a selection of prints and stickers as well. So that was my table. Very Halloween-y, of course. Okay, so we are moving on to Diane's table. She's coming all the way from Florida, and you will notice a lot of artists travel from all over to come to this show. But look at her bears. They just have the sweetest little faces, and her work is just perfection. It's neat as a pin, and oh, I loved that little cream and peach bear. And these little flower bears I thought were so unique, the little bouquet. Oh, and that one too, the mint green and the cream. But I just love her bears. They're so sweet. Okay, next up we have Donna's table. Donna is our resident chocolate expert. She does these really fun classes on different types of chocolates, but here are her bears. I think she adds the cutest accessories to her bears. That little one with the teacup, I just love. And I mean, look how cute this lavender bear with her little toy. Donna just also does such a nice job with her bears. Okay, we had another doll artist. Well, we had a couple doll artists. This is Karen's table, and she works kind of as a miniaturist when I was talking to her, because I was really taken with just how all of her little dolls are doing an activity, and I asked her why, and it's because they're supposed to be set in a scene with a dollhouse or a display. But I mean, look how creative the Buffalo Bills guy, the mom changing the baby's diaper. This was amazing. It was a whole set of clothing with a doll that only $50. I loved the couple playing pool. She had some witches. I mean, the variety of her stuff was really just so fun to look at, and so many little details. That witch with the cauldron I ended up getting. But any artist, if I look at their work and I'm not quite sure how they did something, that's always intriguing to me. And her work is just really creative, really fun, and she just uses a really wide array of techniques. And then I love that doll stand with the big doll on top. She really was amazing. I loved her table. So here is Donna Nielsen of Cookies Critters. And look at how fluffy these bears are. And I love how she uses the little eyelids underneath to give them this, I don't know, this longing expression, this like just so endearing look to them. And she's pretty local, I believe, so it was fun to finally meet her. I've been collecting her bears for years, and again, just all of these people couldn't be nicer. They are the sweetest people. But yeah, I mean, her bears are also just immaculate. Look at that little lion. Oh my God, I almost bought him. I really, there were quite a few things that I was close to buying at this table. That witch bear was another one. I just had so much fun looking at all these bears. I mean, look at her display. It is just amazing. Okay, Jackie Malerski. Her table was also just fabulous. Look at these chunky bears. I I was just loving looking at all these chubby bears. And then her mom makes the cutest little mice, and both her mom and her just cover their bears and their mice in these trinkets, and the theming is always it's just on point. I mean, the colors, the trinkets, these bears really tell a whole story with all the stuff that comes with them, and they're just a work of art all in themselves. Just the theme, all the stuff that goes with them, they're really amazing. And I did end up buying a couple pieces from her, and every time I look at them, there's just more and more stuff to notice. It's just like eye candy. And her table was so popular. I loved these really colorful ones. It reminded me of the early 2000s. These bears were pretty nostalgic for me. The smiley faces and the colors, everything was just so fun. And she had a nice variety of holidays and colors. Yeah, her work was just out of this world. So Jackie Malerski, and she also, I think, was a pretty local artist. Okay, Marty's table. She also had a really nice display. I love the fall theme, and her bears and her bunnies especially, they just have this like old world charm to them. They kind of have an antique flair. And I liked that her bears were more elongated. They had these longer limbs and just like these old soul faces. Look at her little mouse. And Waverly Crossing Bears is her company, but just amazing work. Okay, this is a charity called Good Bears of the World, and their whole thing is they just want to get bears into the hands of as many people as they can. They donate to local fire and police so that they can give bears out to children who are in need. It's a great charity, and if you wanted to get a bear, this would be a great table if you're just starting out because they are very reasonably priced. Okay, so here is Darlene's table. I did end up getting one of her bears or dolls. I'll show you a little bit later, but look at how sweet. Darlene is a master of, she'll go antiquing or thrifting, and she just turns things into the cutest little bears. They all have a unique personality. I just love them so much. They're so different. Here is Tina's table. She is also a doll artist, and as you can see, she works mainly with cloth dolls. But I just love all the little accessories they come with. I feel like her dolls also tell a story. I mean, the Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls are precious, but they're sledding, they're eating ice cream. It's very nostalgic for me to see the rag dolls. That was something I collected as a child, and they are just so sweet. Okay, here is Ginger's table, and Ginger, I don't know, I've never seen any of her big bears, but she makes the sweetest little tiny bears. I do have one of hers, and her dioramas are amazing. They are so clean, and I mean, just neat as a pin. Same thing with her bears. I mean, look at these bears. They are chubby. These bears just remind me of Winnie the Pooh. They have these big bellies, and they're nice and heavy and weighted. Look at this piece. I mean, all the little details. It's incredible. Her gallery piece was also just my absolute favorite. But this is Ginger Brom. I mean, look at her bears. They are just amazing. All right, here is Stevie's table. Stevie works in needle felt, and if you've ever tried to needle felt, it is very time consuming, very complex. She was explaining to me how you have to mix the fibers to get things just right to make sure that it's going to stick. But look at her work. It is so whimsical and just like a whole fantasy world on a table. She does a lot of work with Alice in Wonderland. I mean, look at her bear heads with the ribbons hanging down. It's just the detail and the colors she chooses. They are just amazing. And just look at this blue caterpillar. I mean, all the lines on him, all the little details, it would have just taken forever. Now, Stevie is also a Bewitching Peddlers artist, so I'm excited to see when I go there in about a month all of her Halloween things. And you can see how, you know, there's kind of a witchy vibe to all of the stuff she makes. Her little mice are just adorable. And here are it looks like some prints of her previous work. I loved that Cheshire cat. I mean, look at all the stuff she has done. She's a really well-known artist, especially in like the Halloween art world. I remember seeing her Skeksis in person. Again, if you are looking for, I mean, she kind of crosses the board, fantasy as well as realistic work. I know she goes to taxidermy shows. She kind of does a little bit of everything. So that is Stevie's table. And yeah, I would definitely encourage you to check out her artwork. So now we have a table that just has supplies, and I'm telling you, if you are an artist, you will get such good deals on fabric and eyes, and if you are somebody who makes stuff, you know that stuff is hard to source, so that was great to have that. Now, this is the gallery. So Friday night, we all get together and we have a gallery show. The collectors and the artists all get to vote on their favorites. The theme this year was Secrets of the Sea. So it's not just a show. If you come to the convention, we have our meals together. We have classes. Tina taught a church doll class, but there's always really fun things to do. It's not just the show, but if you wanted to just come for the show, they're Saturdays from 10 to 3 typically, and they're free to get in. But just know that if you sign up for the convention, we all love to teach classes or seminars. We have our banquets and our luncheons. There's just a whole array of things that we get to do together and share our techniques and share the history of bear and doll making, collecting. You really get to learn a whole lot from all of these established artists. But yes, this was the gallery show. So as you can see, everybody took the theme of Secrets of the Sea and kind of did their thing with it. I mean, look at how amazing these are. Hi everyone, I made it back home and I wanted to show you some of the items that I got from this year, as well as a few pieces that I've collected from this show in previous years. I have been a collector of this show for over 10 years, since before my daughter was born, and I just love it. So some artists were not in attendance, but I do want to kind of give you a flavor of either other artists that attend at different times or some artists that I just didn't buy from this time around. So anyway, the first artist I'm going to show you is Jackie Malarski. Here's her card. I bought a bear from her, as well as a couple pieces that her mom makes, these adorable little mice. So I'll show you those first. Her mom makes these really cute little mice, and this one is like a little bellhop. He's got, I don't even know what some of these pieces are. It's really unique. It looks like an old doily, and she made a little bell. I can't even tell what some of these pieces are. It looks like a lot of antiques, but she made a little suitcase. This bell looks like it might have been the top to an ornament. But yeah, if you can see that, just really cute, really well made. And this is gonna be a gift for someone, as well as this little mouse. And these were really reasonably priced, like between $20 and $40 depending, but I mean, they're really precious, really cute. So these are gifts that I know the recipients are going to love. Okay, so that was from Jackie's mom, and then here is the bear that I got from her. And these bears are really chubby and heavy and just so cute. Like, look at that face. Just the sweetest little faces on these bears, and they just feel really comforting and soft and heavy. And what I love about her bears that I really haven't seen in many places, and it's kind of similar to her mom, this bear has so many details attached to it. I mean, little antique pieces and little charms. If you look at her hat, every time I look at him, I just see more and more stuff. There's a little broomstick and a feather, some buttons. So you can just look at this and just see more and more stuff. So, and I have to say, she lived local to the show. I did not realize how popular her table was going to be. By the time I got there, there was not much left. Luckily, I had eyed him first thing and he was still there. But her work seems to be really popular, and I can see why. It's really unique and just fantastic. Okay, so now I'm going to show you my next little piece that I got. This was from Darlene's table. I got this grumpy little moon. And her pieces were also very reasonably priced. But he's sitting in this chair. He is removable. But I mean, look at the face. He's just like this grumpy little guy. And I saw him at the Philly show, or one that was similar, and I'm really happy I could snatch him up. But here's her card. It is Raspberry Bears. Darlene Allen, and she started making teddies and bears and little dolls in 1985. So she's been doing this a long time, but I just love her work. It's really unique as well. Okay. The next thing I got, there was another doll artist in attendance, and her name is Karen Robertson, What a Doll Studio. Her work was so reasonably priced. I mean, I wish I had bought more from her, because look at this. She works kind of as a miniaturist. A lot of her pieces are like, they would just fit into a scene perfectly, like farmers picking pumpkins. There was a couple playing pool. I mean, you saw in the video, just like people in action. And of course I had to get this little witch, and she's stirring her cauldron. This was only $25. I couldn't believe it, but here's the witch, and just really nice sculpt, like a really pretty witch, and the clothes are really well made, like just a really nice quality piece. And then the scene, like she has a whole scene here with, it looks like she used maybe sandpaper and some moss. And I don't know if she like 3D printed this cauldron, or I don't know how she made it, but it's just really, really cute. Okay, so that was Karen. The last thing that I bought this year, I bought a couple pieces for my kids, and I believe it's a charity called Bears of the World. So this is a genuine Boyd bear, and these were, I mean, really, really cheap. They really just try to get people, they try to get bears in the hands of people. That's really their goal. It's not to make money. So you could find some really cute bears. So this was one. Here was another. This is a Bonita bear. Look at his little overalls. So these are, it's kind of a mix of artist bears and manufactured bears. They have, as you saw, like a huge table with a huge selection. And then this little bear. So I kind of figured my kids could pick which ones they wanted. So this looks like a little handmade bear. Somebody made this guy. It looks maybe needle felted, but she has these cute little fairy wings and a little mirror in her hand, and this handmade outfit with the pearls. I just thought she was really precious. The last thing that I bought from the show for this year was, they had the table with fabric and eyes. Right now, all that stuff is really expensive. These were $5 per pack, which is such a good deal for glass eyes with the loop backs. I mean, right now, so this whole pack, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 pairs. So these were $1 a pair. And right now, for me to get these kind of eyes is like $4 or $5 a pair. So this was such a good deal if you are an artist. And then the same thing with the fabrics. I got a bunch of mohair, and she was just selling this for like nothing, like $10, $20 per piece, which is a great deal. So I got some supplies, I got some bears, I got some gifts. I want to show you just a couple other pieces that I've gotten previously. So I'll start with Ginger Brom. She was at the show. This is a bear I got in the spring from her. But again, just like so soft, nice and heavy. And like, look at this chubby bear. I mean, she really has a really unique style. I love her bears. They're just like neat as a pin. Chubby, have so much character. This bear, it reminds me of Winnie the Pooh. Just the look and the belly. I mean, look at the belly. She makes great bears. Oh, Sharon Barron is somebody else I bought from in the spring, and I bought 3 of her bears for my kids. Look at her bears. So, did you see the difference in the artist's style? I mean, they're just so unique. This one has like this squished little face that's so cute. Again, her work is like immaculate. And what I like about hers is she stuffs them. Like, this is so firm. And there's some pellets in here. It just, the feel of these bears is, it's just really high quality, really nice. So this was from the spring. This was a couple years ago. This is Diana's Merry Bears. And I just thought he was adorable. He came with a moon statue, this little wizard guy, and I think he was like maybe $50, $60. But they always come with these really nice cards, little certifications, but look how cute. So again, that's Diana. And she wasn't there this year, but I bought from her a couple years ago. Okay, if you're a fan of like Labyrinth or the Dark Crystal especially, or anything Jim Henson, this is Michelle Pulaski. I bought from her a couple years ago, and I haven't seen her in a couple years, but look at her work. So this is one of her little fairy bugs. And it's just amazing. Like, look at the detail on that. And then this guy reminded me of a Skeksis. He's really cool. And I think she told me the head is made out of some kind of seed pod, but he's very lightweight. It almost looks like maybe some dryer sheets were used. I don't know if it's cotton, but it's very light. You can pose his tail. There's a wire in here. But like, look at his hands, how they curl. I had just never seen anything like this before. Okay. So I think that's everything. Oh, one more bear. Here we go. So this is funny. So Donna Nielsen, and hers are Cookies Critters. She was there. She lives pretty local to Binghamton. I have been collecting her bears for years. I had never met her in person before, but I collect her bears on eBay. And I mean, look at this guy. So this guy, it feels like maybe there's some pellets in there, and he's a little more floppy, which I like a little. But he's heavy in the middle, but his little arms are just floppy, and he is so soft. And he's got this cute little necklace, and then she does such a good job with her cards, and then she puts these little paws and the tags on the back. It's just a really nice touch, but look how cute he is. I mean, look how different all these bears look. Like, they're all just really unique, really fun. I can't get enough of them. So anyway, that was my haul. That's everything. Thank you so much for watching. All right, bye.